Hello Pisces, this is Joe and I'm going to do your general tarot reading for July 2020. This is a general reading, so it's not going to be for everybody. It can't be for everybody, but you'll know if it's for you because it'll make you feel something. It'll make you think about things and it'll resonate with you. With that said, I'm going to do just a basic spread for you, and we're going to see what the message is. It could be about anything. It could end up being about love, work, money. Who knows what's going to come out? That's up to the cards. I did already shuffle them, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start drawing some cards and get right to it. So Pisces, what is going on for you coming in July? Now, I do want to point out that I do only read, I don't read reversals in a general reading like this, but that's okay. We're still going to get the message that's intended to come out. You do have some nice cards, though, I'll tell you that. So some of you have had a recent success, and this is kind of leading you to, some kind of fulfillment. Like this is something that you have kind of had to struggle with walking away from, or leaving something behind, really having to make some decisions to cut something loose in the recent past, or to make a decision, and what that has done is brought in something has come in your recent past that has brought you a feeling of success. And I don't know that this success is completely manifested, but it's like in the process. I haven't even got the cards out already laid out yet, and what we have is you have the Three of Cups for your recent past, which is great. You have the Nine of Cups, the Wish card, and your present energy. So you're really focused on making some of your some dreams and some desires really manifest and come true. And you have the Ten of Coins in the near future. So some of you have a good amount of abundance and fulfillment coming through, and I think this is enabling you to kind of be set free from something. But I think there is a little bit of struggle, or there has been a little bit of a struggle, and so to get to this point, so there might be a little bit of there might be a caveat or a hang-up in this situation. You might have to actually let something completely go in order to bring whatever it is that's coming your way completely through. So we're going to keep pulling cards. Look at this. And the advice. Okay, so that could be a friendship, it could be a soulmate. And then what's influencing you is the Four of Cups. So definitely dreaming about something. You really have your sights set on something that is going to bring a lot of good things your way. We're going to get right into it. You're worried that this might not completely happen the way that you want because you have the Three of Swords. This is in your hopes and fears. So you definitely have something that is like giving you a little bit of anxiety and fear. This isn't an actual heartbreak. It just represents a fear of that. And the outcome, Justice. So whatever you guys have going on, Pisces, this is definitely something that has been a long time in the making. But let's see what your challenge is. Five of Swords. So, and the overall Three of Wands. So you have something coming in, Pisces, that is very, very nice. So you have the recent past. So you have a reason to celebrate, or you've had a reason to celebrate, and to, this to me feels like a complete shift in your energy. Represents a complete turnaround, or 180 from where you've been coming from. And I think this is like, whenever you are watching this, you are already in this Three of Cups. You've already had this moment that has brought you like a feeling of like being lifted up or lifted out of something that has been very hard, very difficult. And so now this is enabling something to really completely come through and manifest in your life. And to me, I feel like I feel like there's been some conflict, and you have to, this Two of Cups, whether this is a romantic partner, a friendship, or something, someone from your past, like this to me, I feel like there has to be an amends made. Whether it's an amends made to you or you to them, or whether it's like mutual, there is like a feeling here of there needs to be some kind of mutual amends made in order to completely release this situation and to bring in, bring in what it is that you're trying to accomplish in July. But regardless, it does happen. You have justice in the outcome. So all of a sudden there's like this feeling of balance and equality. And you've probably been on the more difficult side of things the last several months, and it's like been very. It's probably felt unfair. It's been hard. It's been a long road, and whatever came in your recent past has had you now reevaluating everything, and you're starting to see like, okay, there is a silver lining. There is a bright side. You have this feeling of renewed hopes and dreams that you felt like have kind of died and gone away have been revived and resurrected. And coming out of this in July and going into August, you have this you almost have this fulfillment of this. So for some of you, this could be about money. It could be about a lawsuit. If you've had some kind of legal thing that's been going on for a long time, you've been looking into the future, like depending and hoping for it to come your way, and it kind of manifests, and you get news that things are going to turn around. And finally, after this long wait, you get to see that through all the struggles and everything that you've been through, finally your dreams, your wishes, your hopes are finally going to be realized. And you know that in the near future there's going to be like almost like a karmic payback, or a karmic debt is going to be paid that's going to kind of fix this situation, and it's not going to be like this stuck energy. You have the Hanged Man, so this has been something that has been going on a long time, and so you might have this worry or this fear that you're not going to be completely let go because it has drug on so long. So but nonetheless, you've fought the good fight, and you waited things out for a very long time, and in that waiting, there have been a lot of deeply personal lessons that you've learned through this. You've learned a lot about your own strength, perseverance. I think that it finally almost got to the point where you maybe felt like giving up, but then at that point is when the miracle happens. That's when you get news of good things coming in. So if this is about something when it comes to your finances, your money, your stability, that's all that is finally being allowed to come in and kind of release you from whatever has been holding you up for such a long time. But the Eight of Cups is like your best or your objective in this is just to completely walk away from this. You can finally walk away from the past. You could see things coming your way. Finally, what you've been waiting for, it's coming through, it's manifesting, and you have the Ten of Coins, and that is like not too distant future. This is within 30 days, I feel, that all of a sudden it's like, okay, it becomes tangible and it becomes real. It's no longer something you have to keep hoping for. You have the Five of Swords crossing you, so you might have been in a really negative place for a long time, where just like the things that you were thinking about, or getting down on yourself about, or maybe the other things you've been getting down on in this situation is kind of stuck with you such a long time. It's almost like it's made a permanent impression in your mind, in your psyche. And so now that this is all being released, your biggest struggle is going to be believing, one, that okay, this is really happening and it's really finally changing. It's like having to relearn to get that type of tape playing in your head over and over again, or those thoughts, to really empty them and get out of that thought pattern, that negative thought pattern. So that's the biggest struggle in this. But for some of you, I did say, like, the advice here is there's like some kind of connection between you and somebody else that needs to be fixed. That there's like, you know, some things need to be said. I think between you and somebody else, some things, there needs to be a level of honesty, forgiveness. This could be a romantic partner, or it could be a friend, it could even be a family member. I'm not really entirely sure about that, but it does, to me, nonetheless, say that there needs to be some kind of reunion, some kind of amends, some apologies, in order to really completely set you free. That helps with this challenge here too, to get out of that, because no matter what good comes your way, if there's something in this situation that is about a relationship or has affected or strained a relationship, you're never going to feel completely kind of free from things until this is kind of addressed. You have the Four of Cups in your influences, so you definitely, I think, have some people that have encouraged you along the way. You've had the support from other people, and you know, I'm going to read the cards intuitively before I put like the traditional meaning here, because to me, I feel like this message is you've had other people supporting you, helping you along the way, encouraging you, and you've been looking at this long-term goal that you feel like is going to bring you a lot of happiness. But I think the biggest danger is kind of twofold. First, you might have doubts that this is really going to materialize fully the way you want. I think it actually does. And I think it actually does much better than you had anticipated. But there's like this feeling of danger of like being in danger of like, okay, but it doesn't make you feel whole. It doesn't really give you 100% of what you want, because there's just something here in this picture that you can never get back. And I don't know what that is. So, but whatever is coming through in July, justice is kind of like here to, like, you know, balance things out as best as they possibly can be balanced in a way that is fair as possible. When you lose something, you can't get it back, there's really no way to repay that, but there are some ways to make things right. And this is, to me, saying that this is going to be made right. Whatever you've been struggling with or having a hard time with, in July, it is finally coming to an end, is finally a completion. But I think that the biggest thing here is the Five of Swords crossing you, getting out of that, the habit of having a way of thinking that is kind of beating yourself up, or convincing you that things are never going to turn around or never get better. So that's the biggest challenge there. But then the real challenge is like this fixing of this friendship, relationship, partnership, whatever it is. Even if this is about a business, if this is about a relationship, if this is about some kind of contractual thing related to money or any type of legal situation, you know, you get the news that, okay, this is finally all turning around, and it's finally bringing in what you've been waiting probably for maybe at least a year, and it finally starts to come through. But there's this one thing hanging everything up to kind of really fix everything up. So whatever has to happen here, if somebody has to come to you, or they do come to you, you know, I think this is saying be willing to listen and hear them out, or if this is you having to go to somebody and to you know, have them hear you out, whatever it is, which way it has to happen. I think this is like finally going to be like the icing on the cake. It's going to make things as you know, as good as they can get for you in the big picture. So I think that's pretty good. I think I like how this turns out. Probably the most positive spread of cards I've seen in a while. You know, you've got a lot of really good things here. We're going to pull one of these, maybe two, and then we're going to end it, Pisces, and see what this message is. Yang. This keeps coming up a lot. There's just, you know, I think there's just a lot of aggression overall lately. When you look at the big picture, and this is like the feminine energy, so I think this is finally a time where you can soften up, you can let your guard down, you can not feel like you have to have walls up, or that masculine energy. And this isn't about gender, but this is about like that feminine energy that is like finally you can let go of having to be so strong. And it's like a time to, actually it's like, to me it's almost like a time for healing when this is all over with. That's kind of the message I get. So it's like a release, it's letting go, it's getting back in touch with yourself. And then finally the last card, you have why. That's probably something you'll be asking yourself for a long time, and I think it doesn't matter. I think it's like just accepting that things happen and we don't always get the answer to those things. It's, you know, just one of those questions that we might ask ourselves in situations over and over repetitively. We might finally be in the outcome of something, but still be asking why things played out the way they did, why they happened the way they did. But really the why doesn't matter. I think that this is really saying to stop focusing on the why and just be okay with the outcome. To finally be okay with the way things are, because I do feel like whatever has happened, like things are made right, and you know, it's a complete shift, complete change in the way things have been for a very long time. So with that said, I'm going to end it. And again, this was July 2020. If you want a personal reading, you can always look in the description box and get in touch with me. There's an email there. Feel free to reach out. I'm about a 2 to 3 day turnaround time. I do have in person over video, and I do have recorded readings I can do as well. So don't forget to leave a comment, and if you want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.